Saints 365 is a passion project to glorify God and honor His saints. This project is based upon the book, The Lives of the Saints by Father Alban Butler.
March 9th, St. Francis of Rome. Frances was born at Rome in 1384. Her parents were of high rank. They overruled her desire to become a nun, and at 12 years of age married her to Lorenzo Ponziano, a Roman noble. During the 40 years of their married life, they never had a disagreement. While spending her days in retirement and prayer, she attended promptly to every household duty, saying, "A married woman must leave God at the altar to find Him in her domestic cares." And she once found the verse of a psalm, in which she had been 4 times thus interrupted, completed for her in letters of gold. Her ordinary food was dry bread. Secretly, she would exchange with beggars good food for their hard crusts. Her drink was water, and her cup a human skull. During the invasion of Rome in 1413, Ponziano was banished, his estates confiscated, his house destroyed, and his eldest son taken as hostage. Francis saw in these losses only the finger of God and blessed His holy name. When peace was restored, Ponziano recovered his estate, and Francis founded the Oblates. After her husband's death, barefoot and with a cord about her neck, she begged admission to the community and was soon elected superioress. She lived always in the presence of God, and amongst many visions was given constant sight of her angel guardian, who shed such brightness around him that the saint could read her midnight office by his light alone. He shielded her in the hour of temptation and directed her in every good act. But when she was betrayed into some defect, he faded from her sight, and when some light words were spoken before her, he covered his face in shame. She died on the day she had foretold, March 9th, 1440. Reflection. God has appointed an angel to guard each one of us, to whose warnings we are bound to attend. Let us listen to his voice here, and we shall see him hereafter when he leads us before the throne of God. St. Francis of Rome, pray for us. Also celebrated on March 9th, St. Dominic Savio, Confessor. Dominic Savio was born at Riva de Chiera on April 2, 1842. He looked so frail and puny on the morning of his birth that his father had rushed him that same evening to the parish church for baptism. As a little boy, one of Dominic's greatest joys was serving Mass. He began serving when he was 5 years old and was often seen at 5 o'clock in the morning in the front of the church on his knees in rain or snow, waiting for the doors to be opened. On the occasion of his first Holy Communion, he made the resolution to prefer death rather than sin. From his earliest years, he frequently expressed his determination and ambition to become a saint. The village pastor at Mondogno, recognizing in Dominic a soul of rare caliber, arranged to have him transferred to Don Bosco's oratory at Turin. Don Bosco soon noted Dominic's consuming quest for sainthood and pointed out to the boy that the path to holiness is not necessarily among the hair shirts and tortures of the flesh, but in the cheerful bearing and offering up of each day's small crosses. Steering the lad away from artificial practices, his master showed him that for the soul avid of penance, there is a superabundance lying around, to be had for the picking. To accept the pain which is wrapped up with the more and more perfect fulfillment of the duties of one's state of life. After a few months of life in the environment of the oratory, and under the saintly care of St. John Bosco, Dominic's soul was fired with the zeal of his master, whose rule of life, "Give me souls, you take the rest," the boy adopted as his own. Following the example set by his master, who sought souls wherever they were to be found, in season and out of season, Dominic also went after souls in the highways and byways of his own little world, especially among the boys of the oratory. There he founded and directed the Immaculate Conception Sodality, a group of boys who by prayer, word, and example carried on an apostolate among their schoolfellows, and thus proved to be a valuable assistance to Don Bosco in his work, the Christian formation of boys. On one occasion, Dominic broke up a vicious duel with stones. Standing between the boy duelists with dramatic suddenness, he flashed a crucifix and said, "This is Friday. Today Christ died for love of us. Can you look at him and still hate each other?" When Dominic's health began to fail, he was forced to leave the oratory. Don Bosco and the boys were sorry to see him leave. He had been a good friend to all. Don Bosco said of him, "His cheerful character and lively disposition made him extremely popular even among those boys who were no great lovers of their faith. His death at his home on March 9, 1857, was sweet and peaceful. Pope Pius XII canonized him on June 12, 1954. Reflection. Sin? I'll die first. That heart cry from the soul of Dominic is now, thanks to Don Bosco, sounding across the all but bloody fields of teenage purity, seeking echoes in young and generous hearts. St. Dominic Savio, pray for us.
Saints 365 is narrated by Rob Roller, edited by Josh Bach, and produced by Our Local Parish Productions. Funding for this project is made possible by Catholic businesses. Please go to the business directory at ourlocalparish.com to support these generous businesses. Thank you for listening. God bless.